In this video, we are going to look at the policy of URL rewriting and how a policy chain and the order of policy execution affects the behavior of 3scale. Okay, so for this example, I have taken a product called a path product, and as you can see here, it has got two different backends, and I'll go dive a little bit into the configuration. So you can see the different backends here, and there are mapping rules for two different paths, /a, which leads to backend 1, and /c, which leads to the backend 2. So I have set up my metrics so that the corresponding paths for backend 1 and backend 2 are correctly mapped to the corresponding backend rule. So /a will be updating the metric for backend 1, and /c will be updating the metric for backend 2. Now, if you can see here, these are the two backends with the public paths for the corresponding backends. In my policies, what you see here is I have a URL rewriting policy, and I have set it up such that if I pass a regular expression /a/c, it is going to replace it with a /c. So it's going to do a regular expression path matching, and it is going to redirect it appropriately. Now, if I try to make a request here to the same /a/c path, what I would expect is, because I set up the URL rewriting policy, it should be going to the /c backend. So if I see here and see backend 2, it has got 2 hits, whereas backend 1 has got 5 hits. And if I try it again, what I see here is backend 1 is actually getting 6 hits. So what you see here is the path /a is matching first before path c. And the reason for that is in my policies. If you look at my policy chain, URL rewrite policy comes after the 3scale APIcast policy in the policy chain. So let me change the order around so the URL rewriting happens before the request is processed by 3scale. And I update this, and I update the configuration. Everything else stays the same, and I make a request to the same path. And when I do that, and if you look at your traffic to backend 1, now you can see backend 1 has got 6 hits and backend 2 is at 4 hits. So let's just try it one more time. Now backend 2 has got 5 hits, which means the hit that we actually made to /a/c is now routed to the URL rewrite works to the /c, and it is routed to the right backend. Showing and updating your policies that are applied to your service is to go to the admin REST APIs that are available from 3scale portal, and using your access token, you can get a list of the policies that are applied, and you could also use the update URL to update the policies. So for this example, if I want to see what policies are applied for my service, which I choose here my path product, which is the same one that I showed the demo for. And if I provide the access token and I send a request, you could see that I get the policies that have been applied. So the first policy that is applied is URL rewriting in the policy chain, followed by the APIcast policy, which is the default 3scale policy. I could also use my policy update to update the policies, and I could provide the service ID and the policy configuration JSON, and I could update the policy chain as I could. Okay. Need to find out what configuration and what policy chain is applied to a particular API service. I could go in here and in my configuration of that particular product, I can check out the configuration history, and I get a chance to download the latest version or any of the previous versions of the configuration that has been applied. And when I see this, I could notice that, this is the, if I show you the raw data, you can notice that this is the particular service and the policy chain that has been applied with the correct policy chain URL rewriting and the configurations that are applied here. So in this way, you can go and check out what are the different policies that are applied for your particular service, and ensure that your policies that you have configured is consistent with what is available through your API gateways.